This is the Mail Review on RadioCast.com. This is the Mail Review on RadioCast.com.
You already know what it is. Thank you for joining us on this outstanding Saturday. This is the Mail Review on Yale Radiocast. I'm your boy, Dylan Yale, the host of Yale Radiocast of the Mail Review. And we got it shifted today. You just gonna sip on the boy. Come on, man.
Just gonna sip on my Kai. Oh, my Kai is sippable, nigga.
That was real uncouth.
Why can't I sip on my Kai?
Because it was uncouth while I was doing my intro, bro.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought maybe the ladies wanted to hear the Kai sip. Ladies, do you like that?
Oh no, bro, that's a red cup. I don't know if we got Kai. I don't know if got Kai.
There we go.
We got Kai in a red cup.
We on it. Yeah. You gotta have the Kai in the red cup.
Oh man,
it symbolizes something.
Okay, what
the
is
red,
it?
The red and the Kai and the sipping.
I think it symbolizes retired.
Maybe. I make smoothies on a daily basis, so
This is your new job.
Perhaps.
Thank you for joining us once again. This is Dylan Yale. This is the Mail Review, the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen on Yale Radiocast, man. And we got our brothers in the building. Mark L. We never did discuss what part of the leg that. Which part
I still say he might be a bunion.
He might be a bunion.
I
think Mark L. is the bunion. The bunion is out today, and I think we don't mind not having bunions. I think sometimes we need a break from the bunion.
Well, he on vacation.
See, we got new people in here just messing up. Look at Trill. Look at Trill playing with the microphone.
Sorry, man. I'm just trying to adjust it, just trying to get it right.
But Mr. Superstar himself is in the building. Yo, and this is a man that don't give himself enough. And I think why I like Trev so much. Trev, the reason why I love you so much, bro, is because you're not a part of that new era of having to give yourself so much accolade that it's delusional. You know
I
what
don't
I'm saying?
believe in all that, man. I just believe in doing the work, just doing what you're supposed to do, and be silent about it and just, carry on the business of your work.
Yo, right. Black 1972 said he a damn lie.
Well, hold on, Black 72. You bring your ass here and you say that to my face. That's what you do, huh?
Man,
no,
shout out to
I love you.
Shout out to you, Black 1972. But yeah, man, we got Trev in the building. For those who do not know,
I appreciate y'all having me out here.
Our brother Trevor David is a author / artist.
Yes.
/
actor, teacher.
I call him AAA.
Right.
I call him AAA. Yeah,
right.
a little slick.
Artist,
man.
actor, author.
Yeah, AAA.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
No doubt. Yeah. Trying to make it happen, man. Just out here, like I said, just doing what I can do with the gifts God has given me, man. That's all.
And I would have to say, bro, you do it on a high level, on a high scale, because there's a lot of people out here that are calling themselves great.
Right.
And I know that a lot of people interpret my interpretation as being kind of harsh or whatever, but I feel like the same way Prince wouldn't call everybody a musician. Why?
True.
Because if you looked at what he did, you know what I'm saying? If you looked at what he did and who he was and what he was about, then it translated into if you really was a musician, you couldn't stand by this cat. It's a lot of musicians that
Absolutely,
said
bro.
that, he got on the drums and played the drums better than the drummer that he hired.
Absolutely.
Right.
So he has that window, but he never used it. But what we have here lately, these people that are out now are calling themselves great before they're great.
Absolutely, bro.
I believe in pushing yourself and giving yourself an idea where you want to go. But I always say this, and Dollar, no. Never call yourself shit early. Call yourself shit on time.
It's just we live in a world, man, where it's
really prolific there, brother.
We live in a world where social media has people seeking fame, trying to be famous before they do the work, before they're able to, put a product out or complete something or actually make something of use. And I'm just not really into that. I don't come from that school of proclaiming myself to be anything that I'm not until I already have something to show for it, man. And that's, I like the work. I enjoy the work much more than I enjoy seeking the fame or accolades for the work. I just like doing the work,
And that's where I'll be at with it.
I'm gonna tell you about the crazy thing about it, because we know of Trevor to do so much, and it kind of like harken to what you're saying too about him not just saying, "Hey, this is me, notice me." So just, I would say about 4 months ago, I'm just sitting up here, man, watching TV, and I'm just literally flipping through the channels, looking for something to watch. Of course, we kind of start with BET. We either start with sports, news, or BET. So I go to BET, and I see this made-for-TV movie on BET, and I just so happen to look up, and Trev's in the movie.
Yeah, was that Stalker?
It was, yes.
It was Stalker.
And
right?
the crazy thing is, he doesn't announce to nobody that he does this shit.
Right.
I'm like, Trevor ain't tell nobody that he was doing it. Like, he is like getting it in the movie. I'm like, Trina, look.
Yeah, I don't announce that I'm doing anything, man. I don't make any kind of announcements. I just do it, and like you saw it, right? Yeah. You actually saw it, so that proves to me that there's no reason for me to make an announcement.
There you go.
People are seeing it.
There you go.
So there's no reason for me to make an announcement. For me, it's just all about keeping my head down and doing the work that I'm supposed to be. Like
Right.
I'm writing a book right now. I'm writing my second book right now, and that's an announcement that I just made about doing that. Yeah. But I'm just doing it quietly in my house, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock in the morning, sitting in front of my computer writing. You know what I'm saying? There's no reason for me to go out and make all kinds of goofy announcements and ask for people to, like my things or talk about me. I'm not really interested in that, man.
I did notice that you did put a post out maybe a month ago asking people to kind of pay attention to you. So what was that about?
What? Tell me what you got to tell me what you got to remind me what that
was. It was a post, and if paraphrase a little bit, I didn't have to. It was, what do I need to do to get you people to pay attention to my music?
I think that was a moment of flesh.
It is true.
And ain't nothing wrong with that. First,
it's not nothing wrong with it. No, not at all.
Well, okay, so the music that I do is a different avenue of expression that I do want people to sort of listen to. I make this music for people to listen to, and I just don't know how to get people to listen to it, because we live in a world that's so oversaturated with everybody is a musician. Everybody has a studio. Everybody has a cousin or a brother or a friend who's a rapper or a producer or something like that. So the competition is stiff, and I just don't know how to literally, I just don't know how to get folks to click on my little music thing and give it a listen. So that's what that was. That was kind of a cry in the dark for some serious advice on how to get people to, be willing to click my little music stuff, man.
But I believe like just what we're going to as far as the world and our society and how we deal with things or whatever, it's not necessarily the most talented one. Because true. I've looked at your talent, and I've had to honestly talk to somebody who came at me like, hey, I'm doing this big stuff, I'm acting in this, that, and third. And so I asked them for their, filmography. I was like, let me see what you got or whatever. Because he was saying, what would be a great idea if y'all came and interviewed me. So, right. But then before that, but no, here's what I'm saying though. Trev, before that, he little buddied me. And here's the thing that I can't stand. When I'm not even putting out there that I'm doing XYZ, like you, Trev, I hate when you find out that I'm doing XYZ, that you little buddy me. Oh, that's great. Well, you keep going. Right. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm talking about. That's the little buddy in me. Don't little buddy me, bro, because I didn't come at you asking for the accolades or whatever.
Exactly.
So I had to use you as an example, Trev. I mean, you being my brother or whatever, I had to use you as an example. I was like, okay, what you got going on? Mm-hmm. Well, I did this, that, and third. And they were all TikTok phone recorded things. Mm-hmm. And I said, no, bro, that's not a filmography or whatever. No. I said, that's not what you put in when you go to an audition or whatever. No. And he's like, blah, blah, blah. I said, no, let me show you. And I had to look up because Trev has like 3... And we're gonna get to our next guest because you're taking up a lot of time, Trev.
Sorry.
But no, but I was saying,
I think you give him a whole lot of time.
But that's my brother. That's my brother.
I appreciate it.
But I had to put up like you have like from what I've seen maybe 2 or 3 look like auditionable, like when you go in or whatever, when somebody want to see something or whatever you put together. And I said, bro, here's what you got to have. Not none of that TikTok phone recorded stuff or whatever. I said, you see that? That's CSI.
Yeah.
This dude got a spot with CSI, whatever. And I said, so, you know, that's filmography worthy.
Yeah.
You putting in the work, bro.
You know, what's interesting, you know, I know you have a guest, so I'm going to just kind of say this really quickly. Folks don't tend to do the research as far as how to get themselves to the level that they really, really want to get to.
Right.
I mean, a lot of people, musicians, actors, and what have you, you have to have representation. That's what it boils down to. You have to have professional representation to represent you on a professional level. You have to have somebody out there saying this is a legitimate actor and this is his resume and what have you, and I vouch for him. What I see is a lot of people do their own things in their basement or in their studio or with their boy, you know, camera, iPhone out in the field or whatever, and then they put these things up as professional representations of the work that they're doing, and it's not really professional.
Right.
And a dude like you, Tyrone, you can see that. You can see that this is not really professional.
Because you got to put in the work.
And yeah, that's what I started out by saying. And part of the work is finding a professional representation for what it is that you do. You have to be willing to put yourself out there, send emails, get rejected, do auditions, do this consistently until you get to a level where somebody recognizes this is a professional.
Right.
And that's important.
Or you got to be a study of it. And what I mean by that, Trev, is you got to be so much of a study that people can't tell the difference. The lines get blurred. You have to be so much of a student, and when you apply your pressure and you go out there and do whatever you need to do, they can't tell the difference.
Exactly, bro.
They can't tell the difference. And that being said, another workaholic that we have right here, you know, in the chair. I think the biggest thing that me and my family has about this guy is that we know that there's a such thing as heaven and hell, God and Satan, and angels and demons. Because this dude has angels around him when he drive. He just, you know, the autonomous Tesla or whatever that's out or whatever. Well, this dude had an autonomous system way before that. They was his angels. Because he would get behind that wheel and have a destination. We don't know how the hell he done got there. But he would get there. Half of it was sleep. Because in Pensacola, I remember one time where this dude went to sleep at a red light. And I don't know how his foot stayed on the brake the whole entire time.
Snoring with the brake
Snoring
on.
until he woke up. And the angels, I guess, nudged him or whatever, and he came brought it on home.
Sound like you talking about me right now, bro.
Yeah. But that being said, big bro, Mr. Cedric Singleton, Mr. Sight and Sound himself is in the studio. He hasn't graced us dialing since when?
The first show about a year ago now.
Right.
A year ago now.
Right. So we're gonna have a little game of catch up with Sight and Sound.
No longer a rookie, you a sophomore.
My big brother, Mr. Cedric Singleton. Let's welcome him back, cause I mean,
what's up, Big Ced?
Appreciate it, brothers.
Hey man, I want to say thank you for keeping your little brother in line.
Here's a test.
you gotta hear these things about yourself sometimes.
So what's been going on with you though, Sid?
Man, nothing but the usual, you know, grinding, working, trying to keep things on target, on track. You know,
Okay.
Keeping everything going.
Okay, well, welcome back into the studios, man. Tell us about the 2023. We're going into 2023.
Yes, we are.
Plans for Sight and Sound. I know we've been working diligently to get the idea of Sight and Sound off the ground, which is a DJ formatted platform that we have, which is spearheaded by Sid, you know. Big
Also
Bro.
equipment leasing.
Equipment leasing as well. So parties, events, and everything of that nature. We know how to work these turntables, man. And Trev over here got some turntable skills too.
Absolutely, bro. DJ Mad Love.
DJ Mad Love, man. This motherfucker has an alter ego. DJ Mad Love. Because he DJ'd one on my birthday. I'm like, because I asked Terrence, right? I was like, did Trev really know how to? Yeah, man. I think he's kind of good at it, man.
I'm real good at it.
Okay.
Keep it real.
Listen to that.
Look at that.
Keep it real.
With
That's
4
something
other
I can do.
DJs.
That's something I can do.
You know what? We need a spin session then.
Okay.
Because you talking to 4 DJs in this room.
I love to DJ, bro.
And
I
we
love
have
to
a
He
DJ.
got it in. He did get it
we
in for
can
my
have a
birthday.
tag team spin session.
Yeah, so what we going to do for 2023 though, Sid?
We're going to try to keep things moving. Unlike the year 20, when COVID hit.
Yeah.
You know, and then we got these monkeypox that come around later on, and that is kind of throwing everything off. Get
I heard you
everything
had
on
to
track.
fuck a monkey to get that. Though. did you get monkeypox?
Let's just say, I dodged the bullet.
There's a lot of monkeys out there. Shout out to the monkeys.
Wait, what? Boy, that's the rollback to 2350.
Kind of keep yourself protected from, all the
Stuff that's out here.
out there,
All the foul
We're
monkeys.
going to call it stuff
That's it.
that's out here.
Yeah, protect yourself well.
So yeah, man. So just to get everything up and rolling, we have a heavy show, right? Do we want to jump right into it, fellas?
Let's
Do we
jump right
wanna
into it, bro. It
what's
ain't
hot?
nothing to it but to do it.
Okay, so this is what we got going on. For those who have been living up under a rock, no pun intended, a couple of weeks ago, the hip-hop artist PNB Rock was murdered. He was out there in L.A., and him and his lady went to a, was it the Chicken and Waffles joint out there?
Roscoe's Chicken and
Roscoe's
Waffles.
Chicken and Waffles.
In-
And you're an LA guy, Trev.
Yes, sir,
so
yes,
this
sir.
is kind of like your wheelhouse. Are you familiar with that area?
Absolutely, bro.
Tell us about the area before we go into what happened with PNB.
Okay. The Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles that PNB was at it's in the hood. It's deep in the hood. It's the hood Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles. I know that there's at least two or three. I know that there's at least two Roscoe's out in LA. There's one in Hollywood, and that one is the more famous one that famous people go to. But then there's the one that's in the hood. I think it's right on Crenshaw. I believe
Yep,
it's
that's
on.
where it is, and that's where they went.
Right, and it's dangerous, bro. It's the hood.
Is that Fat Spot the Chicken and Waffles he was trying to tell us about?
Possibly Young Fat. Shout out to Young Fat if he's out there.
Yeah, that's a dangerous area, bro. And there's a lot of areas in LA that are no man's land. You can't just roll up into these areas, especially flashing diamonds and gold and silver, especially being famous and trying to front like, you can't. I'm untouchable. That's
Right.
not how them brothers in LA get down. And respects to PNB, rest in peace. Respects to PNB, rest in peace. But I don't want to throw any dirt on anybody's name. I don't know that brother. I didn't know him personally, and I don't know very much about his music. But I do know when I heard that he was murdered in a Roscoe's. I guess my first thought was, bro, what you doing there with your diamonds and stuff out? That just does not make sense. I'm sorry to say that.
And we're going to circle around at that. So let me read the article real fast. Shout out to everybody that's tuning in on the stream.
You look a little bit like Cordell, don't it? Yeah.
PNB Rock was shot dead at a restaurant while having lunch with his girlfriend. A father and son have been charged. Once again, let me backtrack. This is the Checking the Mail
Yes.
edition of the Mail
Yes.
Review. Let me pull it back a
Yes,
little bit.
I like my intros now. Give me my intro.
I didn't have an intro for Checking the Mail, bro.
I thought you did.
No, not for Checking the Mail, man. We missed that one, but we gonna come up with it because this because this is what happens. Like, we have this concept of the Mail Review, which is conversation from a man's perspective. But what we also have to do is check the men. Right. So, because maybe some people think that we only drive our attention in our conversation towards conflicts or disagreements or confusion with women. That is not.
Darla hate women.
Yep. Hey.
That's what I heard.
Hey.
That's what I heard.
Call it what you will. Until they prove themselves to be different than these thougotosauruses around here. Anyways. No, I love women. That's my problem. You just said it yesterday. I love women too.
Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Hopefully they can tell sarcasm out there or whatever. But
you know what I'm saying? But we have a duty as men to address the problems that we have as men. From the youth to the elderly to men to the male community in general. So when the time surfaces, we kind of circle around to saying, okay, what the fuck are we doing?
right.
And that's where we're at with this. So, yeah, so this is the Checking the Mail edition of the Mail Review. Wish Mark L was here because I got a lot to say to him, bro. So going back to the topic of PNB Rock, and just this right here, man. This article. Let me get back to it. A father and son have been charged with the murder of rapper PNB Rock. The musician, 30 years old, was shot dead at Los Angeles Waffle House, which is incorrect, on 12th September. Authorities say Freddie Lee Trone, 40 years old, and his 17-year-old son were each charged with 1 account of murder, 2 counts of second-degree robbery, and 1 count of conspiracy to commit robbery. Mr. Trone's wife, Chantel, it's always Chantel, has also been arrested with the charge with 1 count of being an accessory after the fact. PNB real name Rakim Hashim Allen rose to fame. We already know, for those who know, you know. So yeah, I'm gonna do a little back history of my research because they don't have everything in the article. But what happened was, he was sent out a notice that the dad, Trone, the father, was given a call and said, "Hey, this dude up here slipping." What he did was essentially call his son. He gathered up his son and his wife, went to the restaurant, had the son, while he was in the car as the getaway driver, had his son do the killing, do the shooting. The father had the son do the shooting. And pretty much, and that to me, Tyrone, I'll let you lead in with this one, bro.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. I always get on the men first because I feel like we supposed to be head of houses. We supposed to be in the front of that line. We always are the ones that get woke up when it's a burglar, in the house or whatever. We always have to handle our business when it's not even, a question about anything. So when you're putting your best foot forward, or when you're trying to put a foot forward, when you're talking about your kids and you raising your kids,
yes,
dude, how do we get to you rallying up the troops, which is only not your homeboys, which is your family, your son and your girlfriend or whatever the hell it was or whatever, and you go out and you commit this atrocious act upon somebody else because you said, and I quote from what I speculated from the readings or whatever, is that they were slipping.
Yeah.
They were slipping. It just, to me, it ain't a lot I got to say about it, because when Dylan called me and told me about the situation, I had told him, I was like, bro, it's not a lot that I can put off into it except saying, they need to suffer the same consequences. I believe it should be firing squads. If you're caught dead to right, if you're caught dead to right, firing squad. We should only have to waste, as a government, the price of a bullet.
I'm not mad at that. My question, though, is why is there so much violence, murder, shooting, killings in the hip-hop community? I put this on my Facebook page the other day, and I got some strange feedback. Country musicians don't shoot each other. Rock and roll musicians don't shoot each other. Jazz musicians don't shoot each other. Why are our hip-hop artists shooting and killing each other? Why do they?
They ain't getting shot.
I think be kind of like probably still being the hip-hop enthusiast in this room right now. Because,
I am too, though.
You are, but I would say because at the end of the day, the hip-hop community is a culture, right? And it has a sense of kind of like being from the streets. I won't say that all hip hop is, but it originated from the streets, right?
Exactly.
And some of this at its core has always been these streets and our culture and our lifestyle. Now, this is the downside to that part. We were at one point taught this was entertainment. We grew up on NWA. Mm-hmm. I wasn't that big of an NWA fan.
I wasn't either.
I wasn't either.
I was more... I was more into Poor Righteous Teachers,
BDP,
Public Enemy. You know what I'm saying? I was more along the lines of that. Even Ice Cube when he separated from NWA. Just because Tupac is my number one guy. I will always start any conversation with hip hop with my favorite being Tupac. But it was still a essence of what happens to me in the streets or the streets that I come from. But it has become the focal point of a lifestyle where the streets, not the reality part of it, but the ugly part of it has become the push narrative, the cool thing to do, the cool thing to be, and these are the spawns of this promoted lifestyle, this promoted culture.
It seems to me, though, from the I don't want to say from the outside looking in, but it seems to me, man, that it's a bit of a death culture. You know, it seems as if you sign up to be a rapper, you sign up to be somebody in this industry.
I would say you sign up to be a gang member, and a part of that is the lifestyle that comes with it. A lot of these kids claim the streets. PNB Rock was a little bit of a street. Now I wouldn't even use him because he was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. PNB Rock could have been me. You know what I'm saying? He just had a name. PNB Rock could have been J. Cole. Okay? But J. Cole wouldn't go into a restaurant with all his jewelry and shit on. See, that's the part of the culture that somebody want to identify with just for an image. That's what I'm saying. So you going to chicken and waffles 10 o'clock in the morning with jewelry on? Do you really need to wear this right now at 10 o'clock in the morning? Getting breakfast.
Well, that's kind of
what I'm saying. So if he was a wise guy, okay, I'm gonna be in some regular clothes. I may still get robbed, but what's the chance of me receiving that before if I'm wearing regular stuff rather than coming in there with jewelry and shit on?
Well, that's another aspect of the culture that I have questions about. What is the necessity, like you said, what is the necessity for going into a Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles at 10 o'clock in the morning with all your jewelry on? What is the obsession in our culture with our young people in flossing diamonds and all these things that the average person in the street can't get, won't get, will never have? These are the things that create animosity. And this, I wouldn't be surprised if this wasn't the reason why PNB is no longer with us today. He's the exact reason. He's the type of brother that's got 10 pounds of diamonds on him at 10 o'clock in the morning in a Roscoe's in the hood,
right?
Kind of saying to the other people, look what I got and look what y'all don't have. That creates animosity and jealousy.
A lot of times the label forces this image on the artist. And I know this to be true just having conversations with true higher up label heads where they're telling an artist that I managed and my nephew that we're going to fly you in town to do this, and then we're going to rent you this long vehicle, He like, I don't need all that. But you got to maintain this is what they're telling Locke. But you got to maintain this image. Man, I'm a family man, bro. Okay, cool, but they ain't going to follow that. They ain't going to care nothing about none of that. You got to wear this. We going to get you that. They're telling him this. And K-Lock in the Phoenix is a family man of all family men. I promise you that. He don't care nothing about none of that jewelry, nothing about none of that. He cares about being a artist first. See what I'm saying? So they push this image that they tell you got to maintain at all times because you got to sell records. Your appearance sells records. Your views sell records. The way you look sells records. Not walking out here for them to post something on Twitter. Dial and Yell out here looking dusty. I do be out here looking dusty, but I'm just saying. TR.
I think, brother, that I'm gonna play devil's advocate to both of y'all statements, and I would have to say the response to the streets would be, well, why can't you? Why can't you go out and wear that stuff and the jewelry and stuff like that? Why can't you do that or whatever? But here's the thing that I say, and it's just like the women saying, why can't I wear tight clothes? Why can't I go out and do and look?
Because
and whatever
you're gonna get harassed, and you say you don't want that.
And I would have to say this though, bro. I would have to say this, and being sincere to the people that are actually, you're trying to make a society be more intelligent than what it really is. Let's live in reality. And the reality of our society that we live in right now is, and I'm going to be honest, women lie, men lie, numbers don't. I can prove it in the numbers. We're not that intelligent as a culture as far as hip-hop go. We're not that intelligent as a society as far as where we're at with it. And the number is you have one-shot artists.
True.
The number is one versus... what's the other side? So I will honestly say that I understand what y'all are saying. I kind of understand what society is saying, but society, I will honestly say that y'all want people to be smart in pockets. Y'all want people to be smart in a standard, and it's not a standard of intelligence that we deal with in our society. Period.
Right. I kind of, I agree with you with the society is a little bit extremely ignorant. I agree with you on that totally. You good, said you ain't got to crawl on the floor, bro. Can't on me. said trying to creep around, boy. I appreciate your brother.
He act worse than he do, like I said, in church. You know how you in church or whatever, you got to put up that finger to go to the bathroom. The usher come on, where you going? Where you going? We in prayer right now. You got to pay your tithing. No, you go in that direction. You don't go to the bathroom when we got to have tithing.
Shout out to Black 1972. He said, or she, we don't know who Black 1972. Anyways, it was gold chains in the heyday. This is a new style. Back then, guns was just the case. Now it's only the case. Sad. And you know what? I think another thing to address really is the idea of a lot of times crime has always been here. Crime has always we've always dealt with crime in the urban community.
Yeah. Yes.
In the less fortunate community where all these artists actually come from, right? It just hasn't been popularized where you see it now. You hear more about it now. Exactly. Crime has always been here. We've always been the crime rate. I don't want to say if more or less. We do everything by true numbers here, but we know it's always been a high crime rate. Now we live in an era where everything is put on TV, where maybe back then we didn't get whoever got killed back then, you know, because they have a little buzz or name behind them, you know, and at the end of the day, the hip-hop community being the #1 community as far as popularity in the world still. You know, we got other little pockets of stuff, but everything that we see on TV has some bit of sprinkle of hip-hop infused in it.
But like Trev said earlier, I feel like he feels. I feel like I never hear about violence in the country community.
Well, the
country music community.
True.
Or any other community, period.
Well,
right.
well, we don't hear about.
Well, I hear about a little bit in the rock community.
Well, let me
just a little bit.
Let me talk about a facet of the hip hop community. We never hear about Christian rappers being robbed and killed. Mm-hmm. See what I'm saying? So it's the lifestyle that a lot of these artists live where they're already gang members. They had death coming their way anyways. Unfortunately, I'm just being honest. Because they're gang members that just so happen to rap. They're not rappers that's gang members. They're gang members first that just got behind a microphone.
But they're actually glorifying and promoting violence.
Exactly. So we don't hear the glorification of streets or a criminal lifestyle in country music.
Well, was that what you was trying to say, Trev, earlier or whatever? I think it's kind of a play on that if we glorify and talk about it all the time and talk about that's what real is, that these things are going to come knocking at your door like Dylan
Absolutely,
said.
bro. Absolutely. I just don't understand, like, these, for example, PNB, you know, I did a lot of research on him after his death. I wasn't familiar with his stuff before he died, but I did a lot of research on him. And what I found out was this cat really seemed to, like you just said, attract a lot of violence to him. Right. You know, he
wasn't the gangster rapper.
No, but
he had the saucy I got money kind of look to
him. He was I watched a couple of videos that he had on TikTok or YouTube or whatever, and he was telling gangsters to pull up on him. You know, people were on his feed or whatever. They were having conversations, a little bit of beef, and he was telling them, pull up, you know. Right. Eventually somebody is going to pull up. Somebody's going to pull your card, and somebody's going to pull up. Now, why? Why are you telling people to pull up on you? You're famous. You've got a lot of money. You've got songs on the radio. You know, you're doing your thing. You've reached your peak. Why are you telling people to pull up on you? Why? Why are you doing that? Why not diffuse the beef instead of infuse the beef? And that's what it seems to me a lot of these rappers are doing. A lot of these rappers are pouring fuel on a fire that's already growing and attracting that fire to them. You're gonna get burnt. Why are you doing that? I just don't understand.
Let me touch. Shout out to Dr. Evil Genius.
Yes, sir.
Another brother of the Male Review. Another leg member. It's crazy that we blame successful victims for the crimes committed by losers. That said, I know bad people do bad things, so I'm not going to make it easier for them to be who they are. What you think about what Evil said, bro? G.
Well, I don't mind. I understand what this brother's saying. This brother's essentially saying this is not PNB Rock's fault.
It's not.
And it's not necessarily.
But TR actually said, yeah, he should be able to. We should be able to go out in public looking how we look. If I got $1 million, true, I should be. But there's a side of the world where you actually have to be cognizant of what you're about.
Be smart.
Be smart. So we can talk about how we should be living or should be allowed to live, or we could deal with the ugly reality of what we're actually stuck in and find out or discuss what is the resolution to this particular situation.
Right.
And the resolution ain't nowhere in near sight, bro.
Right.
Dr. Evil Genius, views. Please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm. There you go, Trev. They want views. So they talk about this stuff maybe for views, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. But again, it goes, for me, it sort of goes back to, you know, I don't know, maybe I'm old school, but it sort of goes back to, what are you being taught in your home? What are your parents? And if you come from a one-parent family, what is your parent teaching you? Besides that, exercise a little bit of introspection. Take a good look around in the world and see what's working and what's not. For example, PNB is dead now. There should be some people out there, some wannabe rappers who want to be in the position that PNB was in while he was alive, who are now who should now be exercising a little introspection and thinking, what should I say and what should I not say? What should I do and what should I not do? As opposed to, I'm gonna do anything for views.
All right, so
if you want to live,
let's touch on this comment first, and we got to go to the real underlining thing, because the underlining thing is how this father, because that's what we want to focus on, how this father, rest in peace to PNB Rock, because he left behind a mother and a child.
Right.
Right? So let's talk about the whole fact that there was a man who decided to go get his son to come back and do the actual shooting. So let's talk about real bitch nigga shit. I'm just being honest here, because look here, man. So Black, truth, more attention you get, the more accessible you are to all forms of interaction. That is true, Black. So let's touch on that. Big Said, what do you think about this man having his son be the person to shoot and kill this young man?
Both of them, can I just say,
go ahead, Trey.
Both them people, that man and that son, should have been at work or at school. You got to have something more constructive to do going on in your life other than looking at some other man's Instagram, figuring out that he's at Roscoe's Chicken and Waffle. He's got some diamonds you want. We're gonna load up the car with some groceries and guns and shoot this man. We're gonna take our guns and go to where this other man is at with his family, and we're gonna shoot him and take what he has. That's just a horrible assessment of where people are. You should have something more constructive going on in your life.
True.
Okay, big bro, what you got to say about it?
Yeah, I think it stems from a long time.
Long time.
Back there in D.C.
Oh,
When,
when you was running the streets, okay.
It stems from jealousy.
Oh, okay.
A lot of time when going back when Cain killed Abel, his brother, by being jealous. Jealous, envious, and
I can 100% agree with that.
Right.
Hateful.
Young black men
Hating on each other.
Young black men have an extremely fragile ego, and they overcompensate their fragile egos with incredible machismo and talking about pull up and I'll shoot you and I'll do this and that. What that is doing is masking an incredibly fragile ego, and a lot of that fragile ego has to do with exactly what said. A lot of jealousy. Brothers want what other brothers have without looking deeply into themselves to figure out what they can get for themselves. It's easy to see some dude on Instagram flashing diamonds and then look around your neck and see nothing and be like, I'm gonna go get what he got.
That's why that's why they always talking about fucking somebody else's female.
I hate that too.
You know what I'm saying? Why would she have to belong to somebody else for you to be
attracted to her?
And attracted to her? Is that what made you attracted to her? Because now you got to do some soul searching. Now you got to say, oh, she getting dingling and the dingling going in her make me want to put my dingling in her.
I mean, to your disposal, especially ratio doing in Atlanta, how we
we don't want to talk about the Atlanta ratio, bro.
Outnumber in the men,
Yeah,
that's ignorance.
All right, so
that's another point.
So let me shout out the Drunk on the stream, because the leg chats is getting it in with Drunk.
They getting it
Black.
in. Come on.
What's going on, Drunk? Shout out to you, brother. PNB thought he was above getting killed and robbed, and most rappers feel that way until it happens.
If you compartmentalize that, I would have to champion that statement. Absolutely. I mean, and the only reason why I say you have to compartmentalize that, because I am an advocate on the side of this shit shouldn't have happened.
Shouldn't have.
And
happened
I'm
at all.
more focused on the fact that a father went and got his son to go rob and kill somebody.
That's where I'm at.
You know what I'm
with it.
saying?
You know what I'm saying?
So-
like aside from what PNB Rock did, and the father actually had his son. Let's pay attention to that.
Do it.
Right. I would have to say that, bro, at the end of the day, I have more issue with that. But I still have a cautionary tale to tell the future flossers. What I like to say, the future flossers. If you're going to get out there, be conscious of your surroundings. Don't act like you can't get it. Because there's a lot of people that will prove you wrong by their grave sites.
Exactly.
And that's just being honest. So I would have to say, all we're saying to all of these people that feel like we're kind of, looking at what the rapper did wrong. No, we looking at what the rapper should have done to stay alive.
I'm looking at what the father did, because we can't control, or every human being can only control what's in their power, what they choose to do. So if we want to talk about the first part of the discussion where PNB Rock has his freedom or his choice to wear jewelry, that's a discussion.
His choice.
That's a discussion. We already know. Yes, he should have. On the flip side, maybe he should be cognizant of his surroundings as well.
His
but
choice.
At the end of the day, this father, a man who has a child,
What the fuck are you doing?
who has a total obligation, and I think everybody in this room as a parent know that my goal is to make sure that my child is in a better situation mentally, financially, spiritually, emotionally, relationship wise than I am. So even if I am a bit of a F boy, my goal ain't to make my son the same F boy as I am. Come on, boy. Let me show you how to be a stupid little fuck.
And you know what? Y'all
know what I'm
have really deteriorated our juice when it came to it, because my biggest thing was Dylan was on his horn and on his high horse talking about, hey, y'all see these women do these damn pussy popping videos with their daughters and shit.
That's where I'm at with it.
Now I can honestly say, hey, ain't nothing too much wrong with pussy popping versus goddamn you going to get your son to kill somebody.
And honestly,
So,
that's how
I
this
mean,
conversation.
shit.
And that's how this conversation came up. I was talking to Tyrone when I told y'all about it. I said, man, now I got to double back on a lot of the shit I'm saying. I got to double back on a lot of that.
Right.
Because from what I'm aware of, a dude may be in the streets.
Right.
Exactly.
But he don't want that to come to his son's doorstep.
Right. Even if he's doing around the son, what I go in the house over there. Even if he's doing dirt right there.
Right.
What, go in the house, man. Go in the house, man.
He's trying to protect his son.
Right.
And that's how we used to be built.
That's how I thought.
But in LA, that gang banging thing in LA in particular is generational, brother. Yeah, exactly. It is generational.
And you're right, and it's just like the pussy popping video. it's just like now you got involvement, family involvement.
Well, shout out to Dr. Evil once again. It is really fragile ego, or how they're socially conditioned. The hood responds to certain behavior. Women gravitate towards that behavior.
That statement is very true. However, that behavior can leave you dead.
It can.
So it's an individual decision for you to follow that type of behavior and then follow that path that could put you in an early grave, or make an independent decision to do something better with your life. Listen, I'm from the hood. I'm from the ghetto. I was born and raised Brooklyn, New York, grew up in Jamaica, Queens, but I saw in my surroundings, I made a decision, 14, 15 years old. Trevor, do you want to grow up to be a hood, or do you want to grow up to live? And I decided I wanted to live, and I got myself up out of there. And that's, it's an individual choice. But when you make a certain choice, like the one that PNB Rock made, the one that, a lot of these dead rappers made, you walk and talk a certain lifestyle. You live by the sword, you die by the sword. And that just makes sense. That's just simple.
Right.
You live by the sword, you die by the sword. You reap what you sow.
Right.
And again, I have the utmost respect for PNB. I have the utmost respect for PNB, and I have the utmost respect for all these rappers who have died. But it is an individual decision how you live your life.
This is an interesting statement. Drunk.
Yes, it is.
I think the son convinced the daddy to go. I doubt the pops was watching the Instagram to see who was where. All right, so none of us was there. I'm just going off of the number of articles that I read where the communication was originally made to the father, not the son. Might be wrong. because we have no confirmation of this. I'm just going off of each news article that I read, and it stated that they contacted the father first. Okay? Now, let's discuss if it was the son. Hey, daddy, let's go hit this lick. Motherfucker, you stupid.
Well, I believe that's the new society that we live in right now. That's the new era. The kids are running the house. The kids are running the parents.
But wasn't the mother also there?
Kids are running them. Kids are running the mothers first, bro. Bro, I look at these little sons or whatever, and I look at the mothers that have them or whatever. You're trying to be that child's friend. So you're sitting there asking the child stuff that they're not, cognitive enough as a child to answer as far as psychologically. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you have to raise that child in order to know and define and to see their boundaries, their lines, instead of assuming that, oh, this child's going to make the best decisions in the world. And you're talking about that same cat that you had to not too long ago tell not to touch a hot stove.
Right.
Exactly.
So that being said, how cognitive intelligent is your child? Because they're trying to fill out life. I would have to say you at 30 ain't the same mental capacity as you at 40.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? We all have growth, but to sit up here and act like that damn child is going to make the rules is just anarchy.
Or even not make the rules, him not follow the rules that's set up or should be set forth in the household. Facts, TR. Everybody want to be their kid friends instead of being the parent. Look, man, I had one conversation with Devin. He was 11 years old. And I told him straight up, look here, I'm not your friend. He came home from spring break, spending time with his mama. And, I had to deprogram his little ass,
What up, Pop, nigga?
Boy, I got with this shit. You talk about Dr. Evil G's. I would have did some things. And I had a long conversation with him, and I had to do some stuff that I can't talk about on the stream.
Talk about it, brother.
Just know I threatened that boy to pack up all his 11-year-old, pack up all his shit, and walk his fuck ass back to Pensacola.
Well, talk about it.
It was cold as shit, too.
Right.
It was cold as shit. Get
Right.
the fuck out of my house then, little bastard. Get the fuck out of my shit.
Right.
He walked downstairs looking back with his little bag. I said, catch the train, because I talked about to catch the bus a little bit to the Greyhound. There's the money. I gave him the money, get the damn bus ticket and everything when he got to the Greyhound, just to see how tough you is a little bit.
Right.
And then, he walking up the little corner, the dude up there, I already knew the dude. Dudes had like a 15-minute conversation with him about, this is your pops and this is his responsibility to you. And then my homie up the corner, he had did some time. He like, man, he trying to make sure you don't turn out how I was. Mm-hmm. And gave him that, that talk from a stranger talking to him.
Right.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? That get right talk. Look here, you just hurt your pops feeling with that shit that you was saying.
Right.
Exactly.
So he came back down the hill, and I had a conversation. I like, listen here, Devin. I will always be your parent. I will never be your friend.
I would say this. I would say the most hurtful thing that I've seen, bro, is they got this new run of emotional charge. Gaslighting, as far as what I see, as far as the old school parenting versus the new school parenting, and what they're saying on there is you shouldn't have to never whoop your damn child or whatever the case may be. And I'm like sitting up there and I'm like, this is just the dumbest shit ever, because I feel like you're taking it to the form of abuse. And this is the difference between discipline and abuse, you dumb people, you dumbass damn people. And here's the thing, and if you think that I can't, understand and have the intelligence to put everything in play, I will tell you this: at the end of the damn day, I myself needed an ass whooping. And I saw that. I'm intelligent enough, but you're not. You're emotional as an adult and saying, I didn't need none of them feeling wrong situations in my life. Of course you did. That's what made you have thicker skin.
Right.
And I needed them ass whoopings. I called my mom up and I thanked her for every ass whooping that she's ever given me, because I needed that. And I'm intelligent enough right now, people, that whereas I saw that I needed that in my life.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I would have to say, don't be a dumbass. Don't be a dumbass parent, because you're allowing the world to deem you as being such and such and such just because you had to whoop that damn child at that time. Not negating the facts of when you gave them ice cream, when you pampered them, when you raised them, when you nursed them back to health. Nobody's adding that up. They're just sitting up there telling you how to parent because you had to swat that child on the ass.
Right.
Because they didn't want to conform.
Black said he had to get them foo-fops.
Yeah.
We all got a couple.
Yeah, you know what? I think the foo fops
You know
is the
what?
flippers. The flippers when Mama grabbed that flipper and flung that bitch from
man,
across the room.
I call it a pat. One of them quick pat.
Yeah.
If you ain't got you a pat real fast, you ain't had it right, man. So, but with that said, rest in peace to PNB Rock.
Right.
Condolences to his mate. I don't think they were married, but I do know they had a child together. And you know, hope everything turns out. Hope the justice system does its due diligence with.
And I would have to say to that man that pulled that
With
robbery
him.
off with that son or whatever, you ain't shit.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying?
And more so for the son because he's still stupid and ignorant. And unfortunately, he was not given the tools that he needs to know. Once again, as you were talking about, Trev, what we've been talking about, a little bit of more so what's right and wrong.
Yeah.
You know, because you could still, obviously, he wasn't even told this is wrong. Now, if you're told what's wrong and you still made that decision,
Yeah.
so be it.
I blame the father in
We
this.
at least we at least gave you the tools to know what's right and wrong.
I blame the father in this.
And we so much blame and the mother because she was there too, but more so the father.
Yeah.
Fuck you. Drunk, not disciplining your child is more abuse than whooping them because they gonna get that whooping either now or later in life. True, bro.
We need to put that on the hip hop quotables right there.
Drunk also, my mama threw a heater at me.
Come on,
That's
hold
when
on,
I
hold
knew
on,
I was
hold
gonna
on,
get right
hold on.
before I don't make it.
Hold on, drunk, hold on. See, drunk, you on that road. You on that road.
He was drunk.
You on that road, brother. And then, you know,
I got a question.
go ahead. Shout out to drunk.
And I want, this is a question for both of y'all.
Yeah.
Does violence in the streets influence the music, or does the music influence the musicians to be more violent?
This, to me personally, right now, the violence influences the music because nowadays it's not about the music; it's about the street culture. I said it earlier. These are gang members and people of the streets first that just so happen to say, see, because it's not about the
Right.
talent.
Right.
It's about a hustle game to
Right.
get the dollar.
Exactly.
That's why you see these average, non-talented people in the hip hop game because that's the hustle dollar these days.
I think at first art imitated life.
Yes.
But I think now life imitates art. I believe there's somebody out there, Trev, that made up the manual, put it into music form or poetry form, and gave it to the world. Now they're seeing things in a light that they haven't seen. So that's softer. I'll put it to you like this. The chick that didn't get a lot of attention in high school because she was shy looked at that chick that got all the attention and found out what she was doing and tried to emulate it.
So here's another question for both of y'all. Earlier on in the conversation, both of you gentlemen said, and myself as well, that none of us were fans of NWA. Dylan mentioned Poor Righteous Teachers, Boogie Down Productions. These are the bands.
Yeah,
that
I'm a
was,
Rakim cat myself.
I'm a Rakim cat too. That's
I'm a
what I heard
Rakim
before.
Big Daddy Kane.
Jungle Brothers, the De La Soul. Why is it though that NWA and gangster rap took over the industry as opposed to the Afrocentric type music that we were all obviously we all just admitted we liked more than NWA?
Who are the label heads, brother?
Well, this is my question. It's a question for you.
Well, I'm asking. Do you have any idea who the label heads?
Well,
to be?
generally speaking, the label heads are white men.
Okay. Do we need to go any further?
Well,
I think we do.
Okay.
I think we do.
So let's dive in it because we got a long show and we got some other topics. But since we're here, we're here. We've always been the tool for destruction in our own community, and they've given us a tool where they don't even have to work that hard no more. And here we go doing it to ourselves.
Exactly.
And it was I got your teeth. It's basically been weaponized. Hip hop has been weaponized as destruction in the black community. There are clips and articles from professors in schools where I wish I found that clip. I wish I would have known we were going to go here. where the guy said that he was in a conference meeting where they were talking about pushing this product. And the product was basically to be infused into the hip hop community for destruction because they are the ones that's going to buy into this and destroy themselves. We just got to create the concept behind it.
I look at it differently. Trev. I look at it that it was a shocking facet. You know what I'm saying? When you're not used to, like I say, the normal or urban or, I would say the suburbanites, they weren't used to what NWA was rapping about. Mm-hmm. This was new to them. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, what was it? It's just like a new novel. They wanted more of that new novel. They want a season 2 of that episode. They wanted the continuation. So whereas, like Dylan just said, the people that put in money and get out money saw money. So what happened was this little child now is looking at all of this stuff and saying, "Ma, I need a little $10 or whatever to go get this CD." She's not abreast to NWA, so she doesn't know what the hell she's giving that $10 for. So he's done heard the charge. He's done read the novel, and it's just like Harry Potter. Harry Potter gained notoriety or whatever because it had a lot of people interested in it. You know what I'm saying? So it was the shock value. So once it was the shock value, everybody wanted to do it. Everybody campaigned. Everybody subscribed. Everybody jumped on to it.
Are we still shocked by that same stuff, though?
Yeah.
We're not.
We're not.
The difference is we're not.
Yeah, we're not, but these kids are influenced by it. Once again, these kids, as we see in this story with PNB Rock, have not been given the tools, so what are they left to? Their devices. What's around them? What's around, I just said this earlier, what's around every kid in culture? Hip-hop. And what has been pushed is, if we're going to look at TR's angle, this brand of hip-hop.
Right.
They could listen to J. Cole, or they could listen to Kodak Black.
Right.
What's being pushed, J. Cole or Kodak Black?
Right.
So let's talk about what the streams.
Hold on.
The brothers on the streams are going in.
Hold on. Let me just say this, Trev. I remember watching a news reporter. He was in the ghetto. He was in a neighborhood where shots was fired or whatever, blah blah blah. And the little young kid was like, I think it's small. It sounded like a small gun. So I think it was about a 25. And the reporter was so astounded that
he
the
would know.
Kid would know the sound of a 25 to that degree to where he can label it.
Right.
And you know what I was thinking, Trev? I was thinking, shit, I thought that's what we know. That's what we know. We know what a big gun is versus a light gun. We can register it with our ears when we live in that environment. But what was normal to me, Trev, was not normal to that news reporter.
Sure.
So what I'm getting at is we were used to that even when it came out. Even when NWA came out, me and Dylan was living a lot of that. We had an area in Pensacola called the Blocks.
The Blocks. I live 1 block from the block.
Yeah, well, a lot of people, was getting killed or whatever because of that lifestyle.
So NWA, when it came out, it wasn't interesting to you?
It wasn't because it was like we've been living that, so we're interested enough to see that somebody's telling our story on a broader scale.
Sure. For a moment. But it was cool for a moment. For a moment.
But then we looked at it like these little young folks, these little urbanites, these suburbs are getting what we've already lived, saw, whatever the case may be, and they're latching on to it.
It was nothing.
Now it's making money.
Yeah, to us, it was nothing that we didn't already know.
Sure.
So it kind of harking on what Tyrone said, it was cool to the people who didn't know it. To us, it's like, okay, they talking about,
they talking about us.
They talking about what's going on around the corner.
Okay. Right. Fuck the police. Yeah. Anyways, I'm into lyrics.
Sure.
So let me get back to what the damn Rakim is talking about because I don't want to hear about killing.
Right.
I want to hear about
I can go around the corner and know about that.
I already know about Tron. Anyway, so Dr. Evil said it's cyclical. Cynical?
Cyclical.
Yeah.
Cyclical.
Cyclical. Yeah.
It's phonics.
Yeah. It's a cycle of things, God damn it.
Holy shit, here we go.
See, and that's why I need to get back into my pure hip hop because I can't even talk no more. Anyways, both inform and intensify the other.
Yeah, he's talking about my comment about does violence in the streets influence the music, or does the music influence the musicians to be more violent?
Yeah, right. So shout out to Drunk because we got some stream. You know what? And I want to give a shout out to the brothers because we've been asking for the men to be on the stream,
and they are on this bitch
here.
And you know what? While y'all are on here, y'all might want to think about the Nomadic Wine.
We got Nomadic Wine coming up. It's already.
But we'll tell y'all about it. Stay tuned.
So Drunk said, "I'm gonna be honest. I listen to a lot of drill music, gang music, all that, and the best songs are the ones that's the most realist where I can imagine the step by step.
Now, I would like to ask this gentleman drunk, who I don't know, Mr. Drunk.
Mr. Drunk.
This music that this drill music that you listen to, do you think it influences your thought patterns? Do you think that this music that you are listening to takes up residence in your subconscious mind someplace that at any given moment you have no control over those subconscious thoughts? So in any given moment, you may snap based on the information you've taken in. This is what I would like to ask.
Drunk, respond with that. I'm going to read the comments. Black, shout out to you. The environment sets the background of what the artist reports. It does, in a sense. Drunk. Rap was weaponized with NWA. They were pawns. They didn't even know it, possibly, and I kind of feel that way.
Right.
People because think because they're rich, they are not pawns. But a lot of these rappers aren't kings. They're just pawns.
Yep.
That was Drunk.
Right.
Hip hop has been weaponized. Bars. Yes, that's a bar. Shout out to Cervantes Street. Black 1972
Who the
Penco.
hell?
Black. Shout out to Black. I think that.
Okay, Cervantes Street, you're gonna have to tell us who you is.
I think
You know
I
who-
that. Yeah, I think
You know who it is?
It might be one of them Dawson boys. I think one of them Dawson boys out there. I think that's who.
Okay.
It is. Yeah. Black 1972. But 1972, somebody a little bit older than.
Yeah. Cervantes ain't had nothing on Haines Street. You know, I know who it is, but Cervantes ain't had nothing on that Haines Street, baby. Municipal pool. That's what I'm talking about.
Man. So shout out once again. We're gonna give condolences to all the parties involved in that situation. But since we're talking about influences and parental conflicts with kids, Curtis Jackson.
Here we go.
Here we go, man.
50.
This is gonna be a little humorous, to say the least. Right? Okay.
So why is this up in the middle here? You move. I'm trying to get this shit out the way. Why do these articles come up in the way of what I'm trying to read?
50 Cent's oldest son calls him his $67,000 a month in child support inadequate.
That's absurd.
67,000. Marquise Jackson attends as we TV celebrities. Marquise Jackson, the eldest son of Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, recently hopped on Instagram Live to discuss the amount of money he received a month from his father via child support. According to the spitting image of Fifth, the $67,000 a month.
6,700.
6,700. Sorry about that. He receives wasn't quite enough to maintain the lifestyle he felt he deserved, based on being related to the Queens rapper, especially while living in NYC. 6,700 a month in the state of New York. You do the math. Marquise told 25-year-old entrepreneur, ex-rapper, Choke, no joke. You're talking about a Forbes lister. You're talking about someone that has problems with everybody. You can't just live in any neighborhood. 81,000 is not sustainable amount of money. You can't just live anywhere. You're talking about if you got beef with everybody in the industry, you just can't live anywhere. Kind of like possibly what we were talking about, where you're living and the environment that you're set in. Choke then enlightened Marquise that he should have been receiving a total of $13,400, which would include the other half of 50 cents to Marquise's mother. Shaniqua, it's always Shaniqua. Choke then suggested that Tompkins also need to take care of him and work. However, Marquise focused on the inadequate amount of money he received from his father. Now,
How old is Marquise?
Marquise is
25.
I said earlier up.
25. Scroll. You can scroll up.
It said-
Why is this 25-year-old man expecting a single dime from his father?
Because that's what we teach them these days.
Yeah, because they spoil till they die.
That's what we
unbelievable.
we teach them that these days, bro. We're trying to honestly answer real life in the idea of supporting from real life or the taking away from. We entitle our kids to thinking that they deserve every damn thing.
Checking the mail. He's a man. He's a grown man now. He's a grown fucking
You're
man.
25 years old. Your father's sending you almost $7,000 a month, and you mad at him? Come on, man. Grow up, dude.
Very
Get a
appreciative.
job.
But that's
Super
where we are.
appreciative.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Come on,
okay,
man.
big bro, you don't think that that's where we are with with our society? Seem like we're raising these kids to have a degree of entitlement. You know, you owe me because you had me, and the same way that you're taught to get out there and get your own, I shouldn't have to. What you think? What you think, big bro?
I think a lot of kids are these days spoiled by the some downfall of the parents, that taking them in another direction, thinking that they have the access of having a handout. They take for instance like my own son. A lot of times we me and his mom had to get him on track. Because he was like a one child, and we was giving him things that we thought he deserved. During his upbringing. Right. Because he was only a child, he got access of having, all kind of stuff. But when he got turned to be a grown man, he found out that life, doesn't always hand you things. Mm-hmm. Right. And, he had to get out there and grind to get what he wants.
Okay. So, following up with that, good statement. Dr. Evil spoiled much. 50 should have just gave him 50 cents per month and see if the 80K is sustainable or not.
What does this cat Marquise think he had to do with 50 cents of success?
Exactly.
I mean, what did he have to do with it? He didn't have nothing to do with it. Exactly. So he's not entitled to anything, especially at 25 years old. I mean, why is 50? I thought there was a law that at 18 years old that parental financial support cuts off.
No.
It's stipulating.
It's
stipulating.
What does that mean?
It's it deals with whether that child is going to college, whether they're furthering their education or whatever. It's the idea of not just child support up under the spouse's or the other biological person's house.
Right.
If they attend college, you still have to have certain. And so a lot of these moms are begging their children to go to junior colleges.
Wow.
Just so they can get the money.
Just so they can continue, get the child support. Yeah.
Right. So, y'all already know I got a lot to say about this. Just as somebody who has dealt with that, I don't think y'all have. I know I have. Man.
Just like
keep your dick out of some places, I guess.
I guess.
There is that.
I try.
Big Bro said the same thing this morning.
I tried to use the mouth.
Yeah.
Try to use the mouth. I work. Look here. After that second free throw, I made sure I was not going to the free throw line again. I can tell you that.
Big Bro said you should be able to fuck anybody. And not be subjected to the consequences.
You know what that sounds like?
Big brother, can you elaborate on that?
Hey, TR, that sound like that sound like Big Bro after dark.
Right. Can you elaborate that? Can you elaborate on that, Big Bro?
Yeah, I was saying back in the day, biblical times, you ought to be able to, do like pretty much David and Solomon and them did back then in the day, but. I know I get ridiculed for a lot of that, but
do you know what happened to the village of people that were just getting it in and didn't care about the consequences?
And that's a village. That ain't the king. That ain't the see. You talking about the king, and a lot of us just are calling them ourselves kings on the corner. Hey, king, what's going on or whatever? But we ain't really kings.
My goddamn daddy only paying me $6,700.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. That's sustainable. Can you sustain a harem? You know what I'm saying? Can you sustain these hosts?
Yeah.
If they have kids, can you? And look, I got a cousin. Shout out to Abdul. You know what I'm saying? This is my dude, man. He got like maybe 8, 9 kids, and he takes them all. Finances them all. And that being said, dude, let's segue to the man that has right now how many children, darling?
Shit, 10,
I call him Saint Nick because he dropping off packages, baby. I call him Saint Nick, baby.
As long as you're responsible.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't take care of them. Then don't get out there and sow your seed.
Yeah. So we got a tie-in here. We got a tie-in from Curtis, which I feel like we're all saying the same thing as far as look, man. There's not a lot owed. To that child at 25. You were given to the other, and now that child is 25, that's a man.
Right.
So you start teaching that man qualities.
Right.
And then let's segue to, the Nick Cannon, boy. The Cannon. That Cannon don't miss.
Get back.
That Cannon don't miss.
Nick Cannon's 10 kids. Everything you need to know. Nick Cannon has welcomed 10 children since 2011. Monroe, Maracon, Golden, Powerful, Zion, Zillion, Zen, Legendary, Onyx, and Rise.
If you had the financial capability of taking care of 10 kids, would you?
Nope. I said one thing when I was 18. I want 2 boys. That's what I got. I don't care nothing about nothing after that.
What about you, Mr. Trev?
Yeah. Wow, that's a good question. I remember when I was a young man, I thought I wanted to be international. You know, it was my goal to be able to travel all around the world. And I remember telling myself, Trev, you're going to have a child from all these different women in these different races in these different countries. This was one of my goals as a young man. So if I had the financial wherewithal to take care of a bunch of children, I might do it.
Oh, wow.
You wanted to be the male version of Josephine Baker then.
There you go.
But you're
Yeah,
Jamaican
okay.
though, right?
Yes, I am.
That's y'all thing. That's y'all thing. A little
Maybe.
bit, right?
But bro, I'm gonna tell you, it ain't the only Jamaican thing or whatever. Cause I'm telling you right now, if I had it, money wise, I would have me a tribe,
why
man.
not?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Why
Drunk
not?
said his kids
I would
got
purposely.
Especially if the women are okay with it.
Exactly.
You know.
I wouldn't say that, brother. I would say especially if they look good.
Yeah, well, there you go.
I would be clumsy as shit,
There you-
depending on how they look and how successful I am. If I had the money, oops, guess what? I can afford it.
Drunk said his kids got Pokemon names. This is why. And now let's get into the issue that people, mostly women, this is checking the mail, but I'm saying this is a woman issue, but we have to address maybe they have a vision that we need to look at. He's not able to give everything he needs to give when he's having 10 kids with this many different women.
This is true.
See what I'm saying? So, yeah, I mean, come on to y'all.
He's not. So
Come on,
you're
bro.
essentially
Come
you're
on,
saying
bro.
he's not able to exercise real fatherhood to every one of these children because it's
And,
just too many of them.
You know, because, people focus on the time that in Tyrone, I've heard you often have a conversation about the time you're giving, brother. You can't, come on, man. Come on now.
That's
come
in
on now.
that's
Come
kind of
on
in a relationship, and I understand what you're saying, brother. I would have to say this. That being what it is, I would have to say this. As far as giving time, I mean, a lot of this is circumstantial also. I mean, I think that a lot of women that are commenting on the Nick Cannon thing are commenting from their standpoint or whatever.
Right.
Think about it like this, women. There's not a lot of man time, fatherhood time anyway. Think about a traditional home.
True.
That
I
man
agree with you.
works
I agree with
all fucking day. 9 times out of 10, I see, and this shooting you in the foot. See, so 9 times out of 10, that tradition wasn't a lot of time. Because when the man came home, what did he say? What did the mama say? Stay out of your father's way. He done had a hard day at down work or whatever. She got his plate ready. He listens to the certain problems that he has to listen to
And he
And
go
he's
to
knocked
sleep.
out.
And he go to sleep.
to do it again. So I would have to say, women, you might want to mind that. Might want to mind that and retract that idea of what's wrong with that. Because here's the thing. I think a lot of y'all just disgruntled because y'all didn't have Nick Cannon's child.
Oh, ooh.
There's a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
said
truth
it.
in that, bro.
I said it. Shut the hell up about it.
Okay, so Drunk. One of his baby mamas was already on IG complaining about she can't get no sleep. Somebody said have Nick pay for a nanny, and she got mad. I mean, he got the money, right? This
Right.
is the thing, but once again, this is the shit that you need to think about. Honestly, okay, he's not going to be there as much.
He's not.
And let's just say, even if this is the only child, he only has 2 to 3 kids.
Right.
You have to understand that you chose to get with a man that has a lifestyle that he's on the run often anyways.
Yes.
We could talk about it being 10 kids, but we could also talk about it being 1 or 2. But he's an entertainer. So you
Yeah.
love the
Yeah.
What do you think is in Nick's mind? Like, what do you think is his MO? Why do you
for
think
having
he's
all
doing
these
this?
kids?
Yeah. What do you think his purpose is?
Oh, we ready for dialogue conversation on this?
That nigga love to fuck and he love to leave it in.
Let me go to the comments and I'm gonna give my astute opinion.
Okay.
Okay, so shout out to Mrs. Phoenix. Exactly, Trevor. There's no way Nick can spend time with each kid. Black. Money does not equal spent time. Shout out to you, brother. Hell no. Who want to be BM number 1112? Huh? Drunk. A lot of these women have his baby for clout. There you go. Now, if you're asking me why Nick is doing this for him, all right, now we pod. I think there is something going on that this is a financial benefit to Nick Cannon on the back end.
What? Like what?
What would it be though?
I wouldn't know, But I know men just don't want to keep throwing kids out there with a multitude of women. Okay, even if y'all saying, just like y'all saying.
He got the money.
Okay, listen to me though. I'm not saying having the kids, because he could get with one chick and have
10 kids.
10 kids. It has to be something deeper than just the family sense of things.
Well, let's talk about it. What
that's
could
why,
it
that's
possibly
why I'm
be?
here. I don't know. I'm just thinking it's some kind of financial back-ended thing that only he knows, that we have no idea. What they call this, rich people problems? There is something that we won't know till about 10 years from now why he keep on having all these kids. I'm not doing a conspiracy theory thing, but I'm doing a conspiracy theory thing.
I think psychologically that's where he's at with it.
I do too.
I think that, he just doesn't care because he can afford.
I think so too.
Look, nobody shouted out who was that? It wasn't Angela Jolie.
Yeah.
But it might have been when she got all them damn kids. She adopted.
Yeah.
And she got all them damn kids.
She adopted.
Didn't nobody say anything. But didn't nobody say nothing to Josephine Baker? Do you know Josephine Baker was the first one who started that idea of, adopting the whole coalition of different races and stuff. She called them the Rainbow Coalition or whatever the case may be. Didn't nobody shout out? It was another woman that did it. That
Madonna did it as well.
Yeah, Madonna did it as well. And nobody's sitting up here having a problem with it until a black man do it.
I think it has to do with.
But they have the kids though. The difference is, and this is a social media conversation.
I get it.
This is what they are saying
Right.
is, where are you? Where will you be when these kids probably need you there the most? And it's hard to do that if it'll be different if it was him and woman number one
Right.
with 11 kids
Right.
versus him and 11 women with 11 kids. Because he could be over here with this chick for 2, 3, 4 weeks, and this child over here in New
Right.
York. And I don't know what none of these women
Right.
are. I don't care about that. I'm just saying this is their conversation. And I kind of have to agree with that in a small sense. And I will get into that part in a minute. Because you chose this man who's in the entertainment industry.
I would say, women, you got to watch that because that's a tricky road.
That's what I'm saying.
Because I would have to say this. No, here's what I'm saying to the women. I would have to say this. You have to watch the abortions that you get versus the children that are being born that you claim that somebody else is worthless about.
I think it has a lot to do with power, ego, and money. As far as Nick, it's a situation where, like you mentioned earlier, Tr, he has the money.
Right.
These women are allowing him to do it, so
Right.
he does.
Right.
Nobody's checking him.
Right.
Nobody's saying.
And this is what I'm saying. You're going after Nick. Why don't you go after these women?
Yeah.
I've seen no woman put a woman on blast that's looking in that arsenal of baby mamas.
Right, true.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, and it feels like to me, big bro, I'm going to ask you. It feels like to me that it is still an agenda push thing with certain skin tones, certain genders, certain ideas of the group idea that everybody else can get off with certain things that certain people can't.
But let's just say it, but the black man can't.
I'm just saying in general because there's some things that we don't let white men get off with. There's some things we don't let
Brad Pitt. Who was it with Angela Jolie?
Brad Pitt.
They didn't
Brad
say
Pitt.
nothing. They didn't say nothing to Brad Pitt.
Those names up.
They didn't say nothing to Brad Pitt.
You didn't say nothing to Hugh Hefner.
Oh my God! they've adopted another beautiful child. This child is named Apron. Look at little Apron as he hugs around his mother's waist.
Right. So what you say about that, big bro?
To tell you the truth, Michael Jackson, as successful as he was, that's the thing he thought about doing. He wanted to do at one time, have as many kids by as many different women as he could.
As he could do.
Yeah, he
So
had the
he
Trevorism of
So he
yeah.
was probably Polly. He was probably Polly.
So what you saying about it?
I'm thinking if you got the financial means to take care of your responsibility, and also if you got the jets, the planes, or whatever to fly, around the world and take care of, your kids, spend time with them individually.
Yeah.
Because you could do that if
But-
you got that kind of assets and that type of money coming in.
But that's what Dallin was talking about. Dallin was talking about not necessarily financial because that's what women are harping on right now. Dallin was talking about the time spent.
Time spent.
Yeah. How do you think that he, weighs on the idea of being
He gotta go
responsible
here,
enough with
then
the
he gotta
time
go
spent?
there, then he got to go here, but he can't even be there because he runs his own network. He runs his own show.
Yeah.
And how many
I would
shows-
honestly say that's easier than what people think, bro.
You gotta lot that time out. You know, if you
As,
don't-
fu-
if you
hold
don't
on,
look and
as
produce
funny
it.
as it sounds, I'm being empathetic towards women right now. 'Cause
No, I'm just
I
saying
haven't
it's
given
easier.
Dollars wholehearted true opinion.
It's easier
I
when you're
could.
an owner.
Yeah, yeah.
It's easier when you're an owner.
You call your own shots pretty much.
It's easier when you're an owner, but it's easier when you're an owner and your network isn't on one of the biggest network Viacom around the world. I'm pretty sure if he's doing Wild Out every week, that's a lot of planning of the show. You got to find the host. You got to prep with it. Don't he do that other show, The Masked Singer or some dumb shit?
Yep.
Yeah.
So he's doing that. So he's running from there to there
He's
to do
also
that.
got his talk show.
And he also
He
got,
also got his talk
and he got
show.
his talk show. That's 4 or 5 days a week right there.
But guess what, though? He can have his kids off the set, outside of the
And-
lights,
and he might.
and then he can say, "Hey, y'all, come on," or whatever. You
And
know what I'm
he
saying?
might
Let's go throw the ball or whatever. And what I'm saying is that a lot of people don't understand when you running stuff like that and you're a success at that rate or whatever. Men usually lie and say, "Oh, you can't come on this meeting, because it'll throw a monkey wrench. I can't have you on this trip or whatever." They lying. They lying. If they that successful or whatever, you can be right there with them. You can be right there with them. Unless you have something that you got going on in the life or whatever. So it's easier. It's easier than what you think.
Shout out to the leg chats. Drunk said, I think Nick Cannon is an empty soul who's accomplished a lot, and by having all these kids, he's some type of happiness that.
He looking for.
What you think about that, Trev? Real fast.
I think that makes a lot of sense,
Yeah,
man.
yeah.
I can see that. I think Nick Soul is an empty soul who's accomplished a lot, and by having all these kids, he's looking for some sort of satisfaction.
Possibly.
That makes sense, man.
That makes sense.
That
Just-
makes sense.
And that's all we're looking for, a resolution and answer to these conversations. Drunk. Nick always been a deep person. I'm telling you, he's looking for some type of happiness and satisfaction with this. Maybe so. A possibility. You know what? And I can see that because I actually have a family member who has said the same thing. So
Right.
I'm not gonna argue you making that make
Right.
sense. Actually, the rumor is that his medical issues, he's creating a way to keep himself alive.
What medical issues are those? I haven't heard anything about that.
Release of semen. Maybe that's a live keeping thing. Release of semen. I don't know.
Black 1972, an overlay for the underplay. Black listens in to the show. We know who Black is.
Okay.
Oh, yeah?
Overlay for the underplay.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't. Nick Cannon does not subscribe.
That's
He does not subscribe to the typical idea of what a black man is supposed to be that we're taught here in America. I've listened to Nick speak a couple times, and he subscribes to a more Afrocentric way of the black man carrying himself. That being having as many wives as you can afford, having as many children as you can afford.
Right.
That's his ethos. That's where
Right.
it comes from.
And I would have to say, screw you for telling somebody how many kids they can
Exactly.
have if they can afford.
Same conversation we having this morning.
Right.
Exactly.
And you're saying that, you ain't gonna have enough time with them or whatever. You can talk to a poor broke man that has to work 2 damn jobs
That's
and
me.
only has 1 child.
That's me.
How much time is that child gonna get of that man? So, you can sit up here and talk all you want to about somebody's life, but I'm saying if they're trying to do something and they can champion a pocket in that,
Sure.
champion that champion.
Sure, man.
Just putting forth the effort. That's the thing.
Yeah, he's putting forth the effort.
Absolutely.
And I think the back end conversation is you have people who have multitudes of kids that ain't trying to see them. So that's
Absolutely.
another way to look at it. He's not having these kids and saying, fuck these kids. That's dialing. But with that said, Drunk said, hey, damn Black, I love a good conspiracy, and that's a good one. You saying Nick created his own personal organ farm?
Super interesting. Super interesting.
NBA young boy doing the same thing. He got 10 kids and he's 22. Q's X-File music. I've heard that Nick is trying to breed kidney donors for himself. See, now we get into the conspiracy. I told y'all it's something different than happened.
Does he have kidney problem? I don't.
No, who knows? Hey, Nick Cannon's worth is 20 mil according to Google. Even if we say it's 40 mil, divide that by 10 kids and 4 plus the baby mamas, that ain't much.
Let me interject. Let me interject. It's more than
what
what
I
most
got.
y'all asses out there can get. So hey,
Exactly.
unless you live in Curtis 50 Cent Sons mentality, unless you live in that mainstream mentality or whatever, that's the only way that you could say that, you know, that ain't enough.
You're entitled to something.
You know.
Okay, so Phoenix said he has lupus.
Okay.
That's interesting.
Okay.
He has
Didn't know
lupus.
that.
Okay, so we actually going into a little bit more review over time. I want to get into this topic because we were talking about, or I brought up the fact of how much Nick Cannon is working and how it may be something that affects what people think. The time and effort that he put into the relationship. So, with that said, one Mr. Tom Brady. Tom Brady and Giselle have reportedly hired divorce lawyers. Following a period of tabloid fan speculation over Tom Brady and Giselle marriage, a couple have reportedly hired divorce lawyers. New York Post first cited multiple sources as saying that the couple has hired lawyers and were starting to sort out financial and personal details of a divorce. Also reported the development representatives for the couple did not respond to requests for comments. Basically, this ran short. Tom Brady, man, that's the GOAT. Tampa Bay quarterback Tom Brady. He expressed some desires to play up until he was 45 years old. All right, so he just turned 45 this year. He actually, after last season, retired, and then he went after 3 weeks. He went right back to that damn team. That was the quickest retirement I ever seen. And the running joke is he finally spent some time with them kids and said, "Fuck this, I'm out."
I thought exactly.
He's like, you know what? I ain't dealing with these little loud motherfuckers. Hey, coach, put me in the game, coach.
Put me in, coach.
Okay,
it
so-
might be something to that.
So and I totally believe that was it. But you know, Giselle, the wife who modeled Giselle, who actually has a higher net worth than Tom Brady.
Really?
Really?
Now online readings said that she was near
About 200 million.
about 500 million. Don't know if this to be true.
What does she model for? Who does she
She
model?
has a model for years, but she was one of the biggest
I
names
don't
in the
know
modeling
I
industry.
don't know
Giselle.
anything about
She-
her.
I remember,
Giselle,
yeah.
Giselle was one of the biggest names in the modeling
Really?
industry.
Exactly.
Are you
Yeah.
able to put a picture of her?
Oh yeah.
back
I'm
in the-
gonna pull up a picture. And Tom Brady, once again, online reading is at 250 million. I had another article that said that he was near 500 million as well. So once again, I don't know the numbers or the wholehearted truth.
But she
behind
holding
it.
her own, though.
But she holding her own.
Exactly.
So
Ah, shit.
yeah, her thing was, well, I put, this is, and plus the woman's plight. I put my career on hold and on pause for you. Now it's time.
Now it's time for me to get paid.
Now it's time for me to, or just time for you to sit down so we can live our life. I'm good, you good, I'm cool.
So
you
is she
cool.
mad because he's playing
Yes.
again?
Exactly.
Yes, that's the
Oh,
problem.
that's what the beef is.
That's what the beef is. Now, this is what I was
You
saying.
got to be kidding me. Really?
This is what I was saying earlier about Nick Cannon. You got to know what you're getting yourself into when you get. See, women want a working man until they get a goddamn working man.
True.
I just want a man that works hard. You can have
That ain't the same, bro.
You can have the nigga that's on the couch, or you can have the nigga that's in the game. She got the man that was in the game, and now she's complaining about him being in the game.
That ain't the same, though, bro.
I'm giving. Look,
This
I'm
is to
giving
his
it you.
psyche. This is to his psyche. Bro, you ain't got to play no more.
right.
You can be whatever you want to be or whatever you choose to be or whatever.
But who knows what his psyche is?
But then that's what I'm saying. It's to his psyche, though. You going back to the game because of what you want to do, not because of what you need to do.
Because who's to say to
Let's just
him
be
his
honest.
250 million is suffice enough for him? If he's trying to do, if we're gonna say like compared to Nick Cannon, maybe he wants to build some kind of legacy, and he just want to get to that because he want to be the best ever, right? And
Well,
he
what-
see all
what-
these motherfuckers walking out the game. LeBron a billionaire, Tiger Woods a billionaire, and these just the greatest in their fields,
But he's Tom fucking Brady.
right?
You know what I'm saying? I mean, let's just be real. I didn't like him.
I love,
But
him. And I hated him.
men lie, women lie, numbers don't.
You're right.
You can't deny this dude number.
That's my thing.
He has to be the GOAT.
He has to be.
You know what I'm saying? In his element or whatever. I mean, what else can you accomplish? And I think, like I just said earlier, it's just a psyche thing. You know, just like the Nick Cannon thing with me and you were talking about, Trev. You have to understand, when you're talking to people or talking about people, you got to understand one thing. That person you're talking about. Because the lack of understanding them is a confrontation that you have with them. I don't tend to try to think that I understand Tom's Brady angle on why he's going back. But I do say it's a psychological thing. You don't have no money that you need. You know what I'm saying? If your worth is what you said, Dylan, his worth is, and you don't have nothing to prove in the game, dude, you done did plays that you had everybody saying, you know what, Tom Brady, fuck him. But you saw that play where he brought the whole entire team back from the gutter or whatever. You thought that they were going to lose and they won. So I mean, what is it but a psychological thing? And I will say this though, and I give it back to you, Nig, or either you, Trev, is that I will honestly say that it's his woman's time to shine if she want to go back. That's all I'm saying, bro. You done had your time.
I think she want him.
I think she want him with them kids.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
You looking at Peyton Manning. You looking
Ain't
at
nobody looking at me.
Ain't nobody like that.
There you go, Trev. Look at Giselle up there.
Okay.
So you're saying compared to Tom Brady, Peyton Manning is
I was just getting a.
But Peyton Manning
he's
is
in the same conversation, yes, but
and you're also talking about Joe Montana.
I don't think nobody's talking about Joe.
You talking about
If we're talking about accomplishments, I think Brady's done what he's done. I think right now he's trying to get. I think he's trying to do some kind of financial because he has 7 rings. He has almost every. So he's proven that he's beaten.
that's
out
all
these
I'm
other
saying.
guys.
You're right. That's all I'm saying.
So to me, this has to be money based, continuing goals here. To me, because why else? Once again, why else would he still be playing? But he did say, and this is another thing, Giselle, he did say that he wanted to play till 45.
Okay, so there you go.
So there you go.
But darling, you don't think that it's this woman's time though? I mean, she done stuck by this dude for 7 rings.
Time to do what?
Time to do anything she want to do
You could do that.
and have his back.
Whoa. What?
Hey, look at Rosenberg, my quarterback of the Steel.
I asked this.
Retired,
Okay,
he ain't
so
in no financial bind. He ain't even a GOAT. But look what he did.
Yeah.
Let me ask this: what is he holding her back from that she can't do?
Maybe she wanted him to travel with her a little bit.
Support her a little.
You know, support her a little bit. Maybe she wanted him to step back and be that rock for her, you know, and be like, okay, we got to fly to Paris for this photo shoot. I may be wanting to start a company, a modeling company or whatever. You know, I mean, I don't know.
You can start a modeling company.
I don't know.
He ain't got to hold your hand, woman. Y'all strong and independent.
Interesting.
Y'all strong and independent.
Well, it's worth a divorce then. If you can't come to a conclusion and both of y'all, you know what I'm saying?
Hey.
Yeah.
I'd have to say leave him, girl.
Hey, Tom Brady.
Get
She
it, girl.
Tom Brady. These are my words to Tom. Dude, go for that alimony. Because she has afforded you a certain lifestyle. She's the breadwinner.
Come on.
And she has afforded you a custom lifestyle that you are accustomed to a lifestyle that she provided. She's the breadwinner.
Come on, 50 Cent, son.
Come on, she's the one asking for the divorce, right?
Yeah, but she's the breadwinner.
Yeah, she's the one asking for the divorce. You know, if he hasn't been caught doing something, you know, he shouldn't have been doing, why shouldn't he ask for alimony? Why not?
Really?
I mean, if she's the one demanding the divorce, right?
So she should get alimony and make more?
But there's some people that didn't want to deal with you, darling, that just broke scot-free. you ain't had no money to pay them shit.
Okay, but that's me. Let that motherfucker have more money, because I guarantee you, starting in about 3 weeks, if me and Trina separates the week after, I'm asking for alimony.
Wow. You heard that, Trina?
I already told her that.
You heard
I
that?
told her
Might
that
as well
shit.
get your affairs
She
in
gonna
order. Might as well get your affairs in order. It's coming. Hurricane Dylan.
Hey, hold up. I'm an expensive bitch. Okay.
Hurricane Dylan coming, baby.
Okay,
Hurricane
so
Dylan.
let's see what they're saying on the chats. Drunk. Giselle is in every big modeling show. She's the Michael Jordan of white
Yes,
girl
she is.
modeling,
Yes, she
basically.
is.
Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Tom Brady went home, realized he don't even know them kids, and called the Bucks.
Yeah, there you go.
It's a tricky situation because she's the rare wife who's worth more than her NFL husband. She wants attention, not the NFL checks. Drunk is going in. I'm gonna be disappointed
Good one,
if
Drunk.
Tom Brady don't ask for alimony. Thank you, Drunk. Tom Brady just scared of Tom Brady just scared of not being relevant anymore, man. So hey, Drunk went in.
Drunk went in, yes.
No, but I do see what Giselle's, and I actually agree with you, Tyrone. My thing is, you actually have to know who you're with.
True.
You know what I'm saying? Tom Brady has let the landscape of entertainment know, I love this football thing. I love this football thing. And then if he said years, he didn't just say this last year. He said this 4 or 5 years ago. I want to play till I'm about 45.
For him, it just basically came down to it's either my wife or football, and he chose football.
Yep.
Right.
Exactly.
He
Right.
chose
So
football.
basically, and that's what I'm saying, bro. Basically, he initiated the divorce. She just checked him on, because I tell people all the time, I'm not going to tell you what you better do, and I'm not going to make you do a damn thing, but I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do versus what your decision is. You know?
I can't blame anyone but myself for his new lifestyle. Shout out to True. Shout out, please.
Right.
So yeah, man. So I think hot situation, hot topics. I would go on some more, but we are running late into the show. It's past 1 o'clock. I had some ignorant shit to cover, but we do need to close out with some business. We want to talk about this nomadic wine thing to y'all.
Yes, sir. We have a nomadic, a raffle that is going on. And people, have you ever wanted a $100 bottle to sit on your display case or just to partake of? You know, it has Delta 8 in it, and you could get, you could get as high as that kite if you wanted to. I would suggest not. I would suggest, subscribing to the portions, because I have somebody in here right now that called me up in the middle of the night talking about you might need to take me to the hospital. you might, and the bad part about it is I was in Gulfport, Mississippi, and he was in Mobile, Alabama. Talking about he ain't done came down yet, nigga.
This shit is just that important.
Yeah, he was up there with the ceiling. He ain't came down yet. So I would have to say, but it is a retail $100 bottle that you could put on your shelf, or you could do anything. But here's the thing, people, you can actually pay only $20 to get in the raffle to afford this $100 bottle. And you could come up here and we can hand it off to you. Or if you're an exclusive person or a secluded person, we'll go ahead and do it off camera. But we would love to have our winner up here. And all you have to do, people, is plain and simple. All you have to do is go to the Cash App, Yale Entertainment, and put raffle and give your $20 entry fee.
No, it's actually linked. The link is up.
Oh, the link is up.
Yeah, I tagged the link in the comments. So just go to that link in the comments, and it will take you to this page that we have up right now. You pay, and you will get into the raffle drawing right here. This is the cover.
Okay.
Nice little, you know what I'm saying? You know I do my program.
Right,
shit, bro.
right. Let's look at the cover, and let's look at the. Do you have a picture of the link? Can you bring the link up?
Well,
So people can see?
This is the page.
That's what I want people to see. I want people to see, because people always acting like they can't understand.
I ain't know where it
Right.
was.
Right. So there you go, people. There's the page.
Nomadic Wine raffle drawing started October 3rd. The tickets are right here. You can click on this tickets. You can pay for. You could get 1 or 2, or 3 or 4 or 5.
Right.
Win a $100 bottle for only $20. First drawing begins on the 1st. The drawings happen through the 1st and will be announced on the 29th. We will start another one following and the 29th going from the 29th through the 19th. I meant to put October 29th right here. Sorry about that. I'm going to highlight that right there. This should be October 29th. I will correct that. And the second one will go through the 19th. This is just to celebrate the holidays just in time. And I promise you, this will be the way you lift the party. I promise. Look here. I called Tyrone.
I'm telling you, bro. And the description didn't do it any justice, because the little wine tasting that I set out was 7 people. 7 people, Trevor. And when I tell you all of us was elevated the same way, looking down at ourselves, laughing at ourselves,
man. Like that?
but laughing at each other. And it was hilarious.
Yes.
I didn't think that I was high until I started describing how I wasn't high.
Is this the first type? Is this the first product that has THC infused in an alcohol? I've never heard of anything.
This
like
is
that.
actually the first one that has the Delta 8,
Which is legal.
that's on a broader scale.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? This is our, linking up with Nomadic Wine.
Shout out to Nomadic.
He actually got a new property in Gulfport, Mississippi. Me and him went, and we're gonna do some documentation or whatever about him getting licensed in Mississippi
hot.
and the whole 9
That's hot,
yards
dude.
and everything. He does edibles and all of that, but we have focused on the wine because me and Dylan never heard it.
Never
But
heard
it's
of it.
been out for years as far as what me and Dylan's been messing with it.
Okay.
It was out before that. So, full disclosure,
So
it was
for-
out before that.
Yes.
But we got linked a year ago. And during the holiday seasons, we couldn't keep a case.
It
We
seems
could
like
not
the
keep a
perfect
case.
product, yo.
It is the perfect product. Around the holidays,
And look here, man.
it was November.
We have not had a disappointed customer yet.
Yeah, exactly.
I promise you
This sounds
that.
like something I would definitely try because I don't. I mean, y'all know I don't
Man,
drink
look,
alcohol, but I would definitely
Look,
try
drunk
this.
said some alcohol. Yes, drunk, you can get high while you drunk.
and look, I'm gonna tell you right now. I've never smoked weed a day in my life. I've sold it, but I've never smoked weed a day in my life. When I was younger, being stupid or whatever. But me being older and retired or whatever, I ended up like from what I heard from people that did smoke it. And the benefits that they were talking about, i.e., the number one thing, you don't gotta go around smelling stinky all the time.
Right.
This is a wine that leaves you on the level of being high, or and you read it to
try
the
this.
point of where it's
You gonna be floating.
like I say, you're floating, and it's a wine.
I definitely
And-
wanna try
And my
this.
brother, when I tell you it's a quality wine. My brother can tell you it's a good
It's a quality-
quality wine.
And they have the 2 flavors. They have the sangria.
That was about to be
and
my
they
question.
have
Do they have reds and
they-
whites?
They have sangria and Moscato Rose.
And I
Yes.
promise you that Moscato Rose was mine and my favorite, and I think that's everybody's favorite.
I
But
think
that's-
Moscato.
But but that sangria is a beast as well. So it's 2 great products, man.
Because the sangria most of the times is a dry wine, but this sangria kind of wet. It's the wettest wine the wettest sangria that I ever tasted in
I
my
want
life.
to try this.
And
I
let
definitely
me
want to try
inject
it.
something for a precautionary measure. I tell you, people in listening land, do not overindulge
Yeah.
and over drinking and stuff.
Yeah.
If they tell you to drink, just a little less than an ounce.
No, I would try to say 4 to 6 ounces.
Yeah,
that's
all
what
you-
we had said.
Yeah, that's all you need.
And that's like almost 2 shot cups. You know what I'm saying? You can do 3 if you want to be dangerous,
That's your life.
but that's your life. You know what I'm
I
saying?
wouldn't advise you to do that much.
I would say try 2 shot glasses at first. Then you can graduate a little bit
To me, it
higher.
was just as important not to, just drink. You about to me an ounce, for me, because if you drink too much,
You're in trouble.
I mean that high lasts.
Yeah. When I
For
tell
about-
you,
for about
look,
2 days almost, 2-3 days almost.
and that was just a middle conversation. When I tell you, Ned called me like 5-6 times and he don't remember it. First, he called me to tell me how good the wine tasted. And I'm like, okay, but did you take it easy? He said, yeah, I did exactly what you said, brother, whatever. You know what I'm saying? I didn't take a lot of whatever. And then he said, well, I don't feel nothing. He called me back in 30 minutes talking about I don't feel
I
nothing.
didn't think it was working.
I said, because you got to give it about 45 minutes, Trev. You got to give it about 45 minutes to kick in. It's not the regular rush to get you high thing.
Okay.
Because it's going to sustain.
It's a
gonna level
socializing
off.
kind of thing.
So after 45 minutes, this man called me back and said, "Oh yeah,
I'm feeling it.
I got it. We good. It's doing something."
I want to
Then
try it.
he called me back an hour and a half later and said, "Oh, it's doing more than what I thought it was gonna
And he's telling
do."
the
Yeah,
truth.
yeah. And then when he called me back and he said, "Is this forever?" And then, as a matter of fact, he called me at like maybe 11:30, 12:30. And said, brother, I think I need you to take me to the hospital.
Wow, really?
I ain't coming down yet. Or whatever. And I said, bro, I'm being honest with you. It's a sustainable. I said, you're going to come down. I promise you. I promise you that. I said, but it's gonna be probably a day later because you're still going to wake up feeling drunk.
Yeah.
But you feel differently. You feel higher when in that day. The next day when you wake
Come down a
up,
little
you're
bit.
still going to feel buzzed,
Yeah.
and you're going to feel buzzed all the way to that next, to that evening.
Let me go ahead and run the advertisement for you people real fast.
Right.
So enjoy the advertisement. This is what we're promoting on all our social media platforms.
Outstanding.
I swear to God, we do some good work over here, man.
Outstanding, brother. But we're giving y'all precautionary measures, because I mean, once Big Bro came down, he was good or whatever, and he was like, God damn, I ain't doing that, no time soon unless I got my life mapped out. At least the weekend has to be. And people, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. When y'all are here for the holidays and everything, whatever, this is something that'll keep y'all sustainable. As far as the celebratory environment that you're in. These are the things for it.
So once again, the link will be in the description of the show. It's not there right now, but it is definitely posted in the comments.
Right.
So just click the link, man. And once again, this is a great win-win. A very affordable wine. Hell, you're gonna get a bag for $20 when you getting ready to celebrate for the holidays with your people anyways.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So you could wind up getting 2 of these things and just celebrating with your family, and promise you just need a little bit. It will go around the room.
A little bit goes.
People don't believe the portions, because I didn't believe the portion when Dylan said it to me.
Because first of all, I was the guinea pig. Me and Trina were the guinea pigs, because neither one of us paid attention to the portions. So we poured the whole glass, and we sitting up there watching TV.
Yes.
Imagine.
Yes.
Yeah, baby, we go get all cozy. Come on, baby, let's watch this bullshit. Sitting up there just sipping, right? We just getting it in, watching them, sipping some more. This is good. Yeah, man, this is good.
The flavor's outstanding.
Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, the flavor. Nomadic did that shit. We talking.
Right.
About 25 minutes in, you feel it.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah,
45 minutes. About 45.
Yeah, no, we hit the first wave. Remember, we drank the whole thing.
Oh.
We
overdid it.
Yeah, we overdid it. So it hit us at 20. The first wave. Ooh. About another 35. Then we're there. And I promise you, whatever, I was in the multiverse, nigga. I was over here and over there. I was in the multiverse, bro. I promise you. Me and Trina did not say nothing to each other for the rest of the night. Zombies.
Zombied out.
Space zombies.
Wow.
I am there. Oh, yeah. I felt like I was looking at me watch myself. Like,
Right.
nigga, you done fucked up. But I felt
exactly.
Yeah, so whatever we was watching, we didn't even say nothing to each other. We just turned the TV off and just went upstairs. And it felt like we floated upstairs. I just remember next thing you know, I was in the bed and she was in the bed, and whatever movie I was watching from that point, I felt like I was in the movie. I was there. It got me there. So yeah, very, very, very potent product.
Right. And I would honestly say that, Trev, hit us back if you get a bottle.
Okay.
Hit us back and
With a
remind us
report.
to remind you. Remind us to remind you
Right.
of your
What the
portion.
portions are.
Yeah,
Right.
what the portions
I got
are.
you.
Because I'm going to be honest with you, people do not believe, and I didn't either. Because we had...
Oh, yeah, I called him the next day.
Right, and we were a group of people sitting around, and I'm like, oh man, y'all ain't gonna get the real, whatever about this or whatever, because it's only a small amount.
Right.
So we can only just do the basic wine testing on
Right.
a smaller scale. But when I tell you that it satisfied everybody, I mean the whole entire group had different characteristics that the nomadic wine brought out of them.
Right.
We had one man that didn't hardly talk, and all of a sudden he brought us back to slavery. Him and his sister, he was in Mississippi. Him and his sister got what we understood from his story was the Klan surrounding his house and tried to burn the house on fire with him and his sister.
So
in
it loosened up his tongue and his memory.
Yeah, and he said, "Goddamn crackers." No offense against any, but I'm talking about this is the way the dude was talking or whatever. And he was like, they tried to burn me and my sister in the house, and all of a sudden I was there, Trevor. I said, "Get me out of this place,"
Right.
because the nomadic made me allow
into
you
his
to
story.
take me there.
Right.
And I was in the woods with him.
Wow.
I was in the woods, and I looked over at somebody else that was on that trip with us, and they were like, she was like, "I don't like this place." I said, "Me neither." I said, "Brother, get us out of here."
But y'all it's present day.
Present day, brother. And the only thing I remember besides that is hearing Reading Rainbow.
Right.
You know the intro, whatever.
sir. Yes,
Butterflies
sir.
in the sky. I mean, it was like it was too much, but it was enough.
Right.
It was enough.
Believe me, he called me from Mississippi telling me this stuff.
Yeah. I said, "Hey,
During the time it was happening.
yeah." I said, "Yeah, it's there. It's there.
So-
you need to try it."
So we're going to wrap it up, man. This was a great show. Once again, Nomadic Wine. Get your purchase in. The mail review. We want to thank Big Bro for coming in. Thank you, brother, for coming in.
welcome,
Darling, we
brother,
gotta wrap around the sight and sound. We gotta tell them what's coming.
Sight and Sound. Well, you tell us what's going on with Sight and Sound. We try to get that out of Big Bro.
Well, Sight and Sound is a company that we pretty much, me and the rest of us, we pretty much orchestrated, coming up with the equipment and stuff like that. We're just trying to make an easy access for people in Atlanta to get a taste of, when they have events or private parties or something like that. Mm-hmm. And we also, focusing on doing, a lot of live concerts too, and a lot of live in-studio sessions.
That studio session will be it.
Yeah.
So the Sight and Sound studio session is essentially, think a tiny desk setup.
Right.
On our
Right.
own scale. And this isn't nothing, shout out to the tiny desk idea. This is something that we've been conceptualizing for a while anyways. But we got a great run of artists that we network with.
Right.
Exactly.
And we're going to put them in the view of you, the listener, and the great music that's out here.
Right.
It's going to be a small room set up,
Yep.
sponsored and delivered by us with the equipment that's been provided through Sight and Sound. And hopefully you will be entertained by the visuals, by the look, by the setup, and ultimately by the artists and the music.
Yeah.
So,
Exactly.
And what you're getting out of that, you're getting out of what also Sight and Sound can do for you.
Exactly.
We want y'all to understand that we with Big Bro's mindset that he came forth with or whatever. He wanted to provide something on an affordable level
right.
that you could do, and all of this equipment that you're going to see. Even the cameras that we're going to be streaming these live events with or whatever, we can set up your venue just like that, or we can bring you to our venue and have the same, kind of rock style type setup.
Total audio setup, y'all.
Yes.
So get with us on the Sight and Sound. Get with us on the Nomadic Wine. Get with us with a lot of other things that we have coming up. Just our hands as a ultimate total multimedia entity is going to take a turn in 2023. We've been this, but as said in the beginning of the show, we've been dealing with COVID. We've been dealing with things that we've been dealing with personally. But at the end of the day, all hands are on deck. That's been my conversation. Not on deck, on deck. You know what I'm saying? And we doing the ultimate push. Trev, what's up with you, brother?
I'm hoping that we can do a poetry slam next January, man.
Poetry slam.
Tell your folks about a poetry slam. Are people interested in spoken word poetry still? This is what I would like to know.
Yes. I think, and we was talking about earlier before we started the show about you're not sure about the culture of Atlanta. I know for sure they are.
Then let's do that.
Because I've been into a lot of these events and communities.
Let's do that
We're
next
gonna find it.
January.
And
we're going to put
Poetry
Sight and
Slam?
Sound. Yes, sir. And we're going to put
Poetry
Sight and
Slam?
Sound to work,
All
providing
right.
the Sight and Sound for it.
So what you got coming up, Reese? Because you do like 30 movies and you don't tell nobody.
Okay, I just booked another movie. It's called The Idea of You. I'm shooting it here in Atlanta in November. November 15th is the start of my shooting. So I'm doing that. I just booked this movie. I'm also up for, there's a movie coming out called Genius, and it's some kind of mashup of Martin Luther King and Malcolm X, some kind of way, and I just booked a little role in that. I'll be playing a doctor. Those two projects I got going on.
All right, man. Well, appreciate you for joining us, and
Thank you, sir.
And
Thank you
once
for having
again, being a partner, a contributing member of the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen.
Most
we want to
def.
say thank you to the brothers and everybody that was on the stream. The brothers showed up.
Y'all brothers showed up.
And y'all can definitely still donate. Y'all see
Right.
the
show
Radio
up
Cast.
show up and get that wine.
Yeah, show up and get the wine. You see the Cash App in the corner, man. Once again, we do, and this is honesty, we do need financial assistance to keep these platforms moving. It's a lot of work. Shout out to the other shows that's joined in. We got Motivational Shit. We still got Pimp Talk out there, and the other shows that's coming along.
Queen's
Court, and Royal Corner is coming back as well. So we just.
And I would have to say
Go
this:
ahead.
men show up, men, because the women, when they donated to that Cash App, they donated big.
They donated big.
Y'all brothers hear me? They donated big, and women, I would shout y'all out every time when y'all show up, and y'all showed up, and y'all showed out.
And Tony Ford, shout out to the educated entrepreneur as well. So, but brothers, we need y'all to actually kind of like set the standard.
Yes,
Show you support.
yes. Put that link back up there, the Nomadic Wine Raffle, and the Cash App and everything, because look, we want the men to do what they say. If we're going to support, we need to support. We've been supported by the women, and I will say that right now. There was not no one man that donated to Yale Entertainment. All were women, and women, we appreciate y'all, and we love y'all.
Right. So, any final words? Any final words?
Gentlemen, we need y'all to show up and show out.
Show up and show out. Don't be bragging about, yeah, I'm a man. I'm a man. Are you a man with that gun in your hand? I'm a man without it. So thank y'all for tuning in to the Mayor Review on Yale Radio Cast. Once again, we will be back next week. Possibly. We just got some setting up to do, and we're setting up some things. Once again, the upgrade of Phase 3 is, as you see, the rollout is happening in your face. So some other things we're developing. So if you don't see us on the stream, it's because you're about to see another level of upgrades. We appreciate everyone for tuning in. Yale Radio Cast, the Mayor Review. The motto is, Mark L's on vacation. Mark L's on vacation.
So let Big Bro say it. What's the motto?
He don't shit.
God damn it. God damn it.
Yale Radio Cast.